spoof documentary as a fictional journalist traveling through the United States? What was the name of the movie? The first 3 callers with the correct answer win a free 3-day, 2-night stay at the Lighthouse Resort. Their website is lighthouse4fun.com. The weather's getting good. Check them out. 888-912-1190. That's 888-912-1190. You had to write the answer to that one? Okay. To answer this question, Sacha Cohen starred in this 2006 movie as a spoof documentary as a fictional journalist traveling through the United States. What was the name of the movie? Again, call 888-912-1190. Make sure to include your name, address, email address, and remember to spell out your email address for us, and we will be right back. Okay. People, answers. Brian, I got a question for you, and I got a gift for you. That actually is not my gift. It's Kramer's gift to you, but you have to answer this question correctly.
Oh, no.
No, you answer it now.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Good, he's not going to put me on the spot.
No, because this is a question just for you.
Oh, okay.
What was the 50th anniversary for NASCAR? What year? Dun 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 dun. Let's go. Oh, this is bad. This is
1985.
Give him another chance.
Okay, another chance.
So why did I miss it by 1? If I go up and down by 1, I'm not going to get any better if I get another chance, unless you're going to give me about 50 chances. Then I think I'm going to get it.
Oh, that's all I need. It's 50 chances.
Okay, 1987. No. 1991.
No.
95.
No.
99.
No. Stop helping him over there.
He's doing his best.
Okay, I'm getting this. Now I'm going to start getting this. I don't know which way to go.
Wait, isn't that the scarecrow? Which way did it go? This way?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, the year after my daughter was born. Come on, hello.
Oh, I was so there for that.
Yeah. Oh, I got an embarrassing story about that.
Yeah. I'm not going to get any
Is it
better.
on video?
I know it would have been somewhat recently, within the last 15 years.
Yes. Come on.
See, within the last 15 years, I got it right.
Should we give it to him?
Kramer says
1998.
Yes. 98? A 50th anniversary.
He was going to give it to you no matter what. He just wanted to
I just want to get rid of it. Okay, now I got to tell you this funny story because you said you weren't there, right?
Hey, thanks, Kramer.
Okay, ready for it? Ready for this funny story? You ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay, this is like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so we get back, just hang around. Again, get close to the mic if you want to ask a question.
Yep.
We'll get into email time. And we'll figure out what we're going to do in the fourth section.
Yeah, so we'll do time in the fourth.
Excuse me. Okay. Good, I think that worked out pretty well. So, is it ready? What did Hunter used to say? Mike's hot. That's
All right.
what he said, right? Okay, here we
Fire
go.
away.
Welcome back to the Best of Investing. I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Mark Hahn, my co-host, and Brian Burke, my co-host. And when we cut to the second commercial break, we asked this trivia question. And again, the theme is raunchy movies. Sacha Cohen starred in this 2006 movie as a spoof documentary as a fictional journalist traveling through the United States. What was the name of the movie? Anyone?
Borat.
Borat, that is correct.
Yes.
And we were just talking off the air about how at some World Olympics or something, this poor lady, or girl, I guess she's a young girl.
Kazakhstan?
Kazakhstan wins the gold medal, and they don't have any music for the national anthem, and they played the spoof music from Sacha Cohen, from Borat. A little embarrassing. Okay. All right. We are going to get right into email time here. And Mark, we received from a listener. We received this email. Looks like it's directed toward you. How can you pay your investors 8 to 10% in today's environment?
Good question. Well, it boils down to the fact that, after the subprime meltdown in 2007, 2008, the banks largely stopped making loans to real estate investors, and that created a huge void in the supply of capital. And so what happened shortly after that is companies like mine, Pacific Private Money, we essentially said, well, look, we've got access to investors who like to earn high yields, who understand the nature of real estate and are willing to make loans secured by real estate. So the private lending market was literally, redeveloped from what was the hard money industry years before, and started making loans to real estate investors. Now, the market essentially dictates the terms under which that the price of money, and private lenders essentially decided that the amount of interest they were willing to loan their money out was anywhere from 8 to 10 to 12%, and entrepreneurs who were buying real estate essentially decided it's a business decision for them, and for the folks who buy fix and flip, for example, they're expected to make a profit on their money, so they're willing to pay as high as 12% for that money, generally for a short-term use. So that's really the bulk of the market right now for private money is for people who like to buy fix and flip real estate. It's usually a loan term for under 12 months. And so we're in an environment where some of my investors don't want to commit to long-term investments. So they love the fact that it's a 6 to 12-month investment. They can make anywhere from 8 to 10, sometimes as high as 12. Well, that's a little bit more rare.
And no load.
Right, and it's a no-load investment. And then I've got borrowers who know that they can make a profit. They can make anywhere from $25,000 to $50,000 average profit on a fix and flip if it's done correctly, and they're willing to pay high rates of interest for the short-term use of that money. So it's a market that has been created in California and nationwide as a result of the banks pulling out of the market. Now, I do get borrowers who say, well, how come I can't borrow money at 6 or 7 or 8%? And that's a darn good question. If I had access to cheaper capital, I could probably accommodate them. But really, there's in the grand scheme of how you assess risk, generally there's a price at which the people who are willing to loan their money to a perfect stranger, albeit secured by real estate, that price it's been coming down, but it's been holding fairly steady the last several years at around average 10 to 12% cost of money, and then the investors then in exchange have been averaging about 8 to 10% that they earn on that investment.
And these investors, wouldn't you say that, I know it's a return versus risk calculation for them to loan their money out, but wouldn't you think that now with real estate prices being so far depressed, that there's so little downside risk in the marketplace that this is really the safest time for those investors to be making an investment such as this?
I agree completely. I don't think there's ever been a better time than now to make a loan, to fund a loan to a real estate investor secured by real estate, because for two things. One, the air's been let out of the balloon. I mean, we've devalued in real estate in California anywhere from maybe 25% all the way to 80% in some markets that in the Bay Area. And then number two, we're not making 80% loans. We're not making 75% loans. In fact, most of the loans we do are at a max loan to value of 65% of today's value,
current value,
not 2005 values,
right,
but today's actual purchase price, not what they think it's worth. Because I do get guys that call me and say, if I'm buying a property at 65 cents on the dollar and you do 65% financing, will you make 100% loan to me? And the answer is no, we don't do it that way. It's whatever you negotiated for your purchase price, that's what the price is, and we'll loan you 65% of that, and we'll fund it with an individual's money. And so that's the safety factors and the protective equity that's available there to someone who's considering funding a private party secured loan like that. They're amazing.
And of course, we got to ask you, how do people get a hold of you?
If you're an investor looking at maybe how do I take advantage or how do I find out more information about what we call trust deed investing, that's where you're the bank, where you're making a loan to a borrower secured by real estate, you want to go to our investment website, and that's PacificPrivateInvestments.com. That's all one word, and it's plural, PacificPrivateInvestments.com, or call my office in Marin County. We're at 415-883-2150.
And if you go to bestofinvesting.com, you'll see the handsome Mark Hanf on there. Of course, you don't have the beard on there, but that's okay. And Brian, we received this email question for you. why should I invest with Praxis Capital? Can't I just go to auctions myself? What's the advantage to dealing with your company? You have to give us a preface.
Don't do this at home. Is the answer.
Right? Yeah, this is one of those "don't try this at home" kind of things, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know.
First, you have to do is to explain what this email question means.
Yeah, because if we have a lot of new listeners that don't have any idea what I do, this question will be pretty confusing to them. So my company is Praxis Capital. We're a real estate private equity firm. We're focused primarily on the distressed real estate sector. So we purchase, rehabilitate, and resell or hold as long-term investments both single-family and multifamily real estate. But all of this stuff is all acquired through the distressed channel. Whether it's an apartment complex or a house, there's likely to be some kind of distress or foreclosure that's surrounding that purchase. So the question about going to the auction, a lot of the houses that we're purchasing, we are purchasing at the trustee sale auction, which is the what's commonly known as the courthouse steps auction. And it truly is a don't try this at home type of a business. It's not really a purchase transaction, it's really a legal transaction. So not like, or much unlike a conventional real estate sale where you get a title report and a pest inspection and all of these things that allow you to make an educated purchasing decision. In a trustee sale type of a transaction, you get nothing. You just know the date, time, and place of the sale and the loan that's being foreclosed on, and it's up to you to get the rest of the information. So there's a vacuum of disclosure. There's nothing there. You've got to learn all this on your own. So, you know, we've been doing this. I've been buying at foreclosure auctions for over 20 years. So being in this business for this long, you know what the pitfalls are, and you know how to avoid them.
Well, let me give you a little personal example here that happened almost 20 years ago for us. We thought we knew what we were doing, and we sure wish we would have known you, because we actually even had a real estate attorney who was part of this transaction. And he said, "Yeah, don't worry about those IRS liens. They'll come off."
Yeah, right.
And sure enough, when
famous last words.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
So when we actually did the foreclosure, and we were the winning bidder, and we figured, okay, great, this is fantastic. Well, suddenly the IRS comes in and says, "You know, we think that property is worth more, and so we're not getting rid of our liens." I mean, if the property is way depressed, then they may not have done that. But we had to come up with $130,000 in IRS liens, and that pretty much wiped out all the profit.
Yeah,
well, and not only that, I know people today that have tried their hand at buying at the auctions because it seems so enticing. Wow, I can buy property at 70 cents on the dollar or 75 cents on the dollar, only to find out that after all the work, even if they did buy it correctly and there weren't any unexpected liens, the amount of money that they were making at the end really didn't justify all that work. I mean, you have to, you guys, Brian, at Praxis, you've got a team, you've got a system, you're able to get in and out of the properties. You can make the kind of profits per property that an individual is going to have a very difficult time doing if they haven't been doing it for years.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Absolutely true. It's a business that's unlike no other.
Really.
It's not one for the faint at heart.
In fact, I think they could make more money investing with Praxis than they might make trying this on their own.
Well, some of our investors have tried it on their own. That's why they're investing with us now.
So what? How do people get a hold of you if they want to invest in real estate auctions but not do it themselves?
The best way to contact us is through our website. It's www.praxcap.com. It's praxcap.com.
All right, we're going to cut to our third and final commercial break, and here's the trivia question. Again, the trivia theme is raunchy movies. This 1982 movie features a group of high schoolers who seek to lose their virginity, which leads them to seek revenge on a sleazy nightclub owner and his redneck sheriff brother for harassing them. Hint, think pig. You knew this answer already, didn't you?
Is there a movie called Edward Brown?
Yeah, no, hey, come on. Mark, I'm a little concerned for you because you know these answers to these raunchy movies like right on the spot there. Okay, call 888-912-1190. That's 888-912-1190 because the first three callers with the correct answer are going to win a free 3-day, 2-night stay at the Lighthouse Resort for answering this question. This 1982 movie features a group of high schoolers who seek to lose their virginity, which leads them to seek revenge on a sleazy nightclub owner and his redneck sheriff brother for harassing them. Hint, think pig. Make sure to include your name, address, email address, and remember to speak slowly and spell out your information, especially your email address. Do it letter by letter, please. And Brian, you're shaking your head no.
I'm just thinking this is a farm animal question. I don't know this one either.
And we will be right back. All right, answers.
Yeah, I would say that national was a little bit surprising to me. So we can talk a little bit about that. I had a question I didn't get a chance to
ask Joel.
Joel, maybe just talk a little bit, maybe just jump back in a little.
Sure. Okay, ready? And away we go. Welcome back to the Best of Investing. I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Mark Hanf and Brian Burke. And when we cut to the third and final commercial break, we asked this trivia question again. The theme is raunchy movies. This 1982 movie features a group of high schoolers who seek to lose their virginity, which leads them to seek revenge on a sleazy nightclub owner and his redneck sheriff brother for harassing them. Hint, think pig. And Brian's so straight-laced, he thought the movie was Babe. That's not correct. But Mark, he's seen a lot of these movies. I'm just kidding. So Mark, what is the answer?
Yeah, it would be Porky's.
It would be Porky's. That is correct. And we were talking off the air about the movie Borat and how, the running of the Jews and all that with the horns. And actually, that stuff is really true. There were people who think that Jews have horns.
That's just besides weird.
Very strange. Okay, Mark, see, you have an article? Or is it Brian? You got the article.
Yeah, we both have it, actually. We're sitting here just talking about it during the break about Case Shiller and CoreLogic coming out with some interesting figures, and house prices and price to rent ratios are back to levels not seen since the 1990s. And I think we're seeing this from a practical standpoint. In Northern California, we're buying a lot of property now to hold as rentals, and these are single-family houses. And I tell you, if you would have asked me 5, 6, 7 years ago about buying single-family houses to hold as rentals in California, I would have said you were crazy. There's no way that the economics of that work at all.